Some of us still carry the burden of battle. It threatens to drown us in our everyday lives. In battle, we had our weapons and combat gear to keep us safe, to keep us confident. But when we returned home, we were not armed with weapons and gear to cope with our own minds. I was lucky to find my combat gear, my mental weapon, and it's called Calmago. Calmago is a drug-free device that allows you to achieve calm in less than 3 minutes, in moments of anxiety, stress, anger, panic, or insomnia, not with medication, but rather by activating the parasympathetic nervous system through breathing regulation and multisensory stimulation. A recent study has shown that Calmago decreases PTSD and anxiety levels in veterans, helping those who are suffering and having a long-lasting effect. Visit Calmago.com to learn how you can get Calmago through the VA or with a special veterans discount code.
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
I'm blessed, my brother. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Hey, did you see the game last night?
Oh, that was a good game.
But did you see the shot?
I lost money from that shot.
Oh,
too,
man, that shot was cold,
I
man.
hated it, but it was good. Damn. What's in those jeans?
You really want to know?
I do.
Exhaustion, muscle spasms, asthmatic issues, unexpected sickle cell trait crises.
Damn. Are you serious? When I was young, I found out I had sickle cell trait. My mom's told me, but I ain't have no knowledge of it. But when I got older, I had a child, and the doctor told me my daughter has sickle cell trait. Do you know the facts that both parents have sickle cell trait? There's a 50% chance the child may have the trait, and 25% chance the child may have the disease.
Hey, that's what's the count. Do you know that 2.5 million people in the United States have sickle cell trait, 300 million people globally? I didn't find out I had sickle cell trait until I was in the Army 10 years. Next thing you know, I had a sickle cell trait exertion site.
Sickle cell? I thought that was a black gene or something.
Nah, man, the Latin community is number 2. 1 out of 36,000 babies are being born with sickle cell disease. You could be Caucasian, Mediterranean, European. You gotta know your bloodline, man. There is an inherited gene in our community that has been forgotten. The name is sickle cell trait. WDCONSCT, also known as What's the Count, is out to bring awareness, education, and prevention to people all over the globe. Want more information? Call us now at 323-215-5384 or visit www.wdconsct.org. Zetovia salve, made from natural and organic ingredients, good for inflammation, poor circulation, hemorrhoids, yeast infection, lip sores, dry coughs, eye pain, minor cuts and bruises, and ready to purchase at botanicaherbalco.com. 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 You're listening to The Farron Dozier Show on KCAA Radio, 106.5 FM, 1050 AM in the Inland Empire. Also streaming from the KCAARadar.com website, MBR Radio, TuneIn Radio, Pandora, Google Play, Blog Talk Radio, iHeartRadio, Podcast, Stitcher, Amazon Radio, just to list a few. Oh yeah, and the streaming videos are located at Tiki Live or Rumble under The Farron Dozier Show. Catch us live or catch us on the archives at the Farron Dozier Show. Shout us out, What's the Count? Visit farrond.com for more information. All right, welcome to another episode of the Farron Dozier Show right here on MBR Radio Network. Again, glad to be back to doing my military talk shows, the Trench Talk segment, episode 15. You believe that? It's been 15 episodes since I've been back on this network. Much appreciated to all the shows that are on here. Make sure you go to mbrradio.us to check out all the different veterans. This is a veteran-only type show, so if you want to find out more about the other veterans and their talk shows, go to mbrradio.us and tune in. Again, I want to thank them for allowing me to be on their network and to bring these conversations with them. I have been doing them for a while, last couple of years, just as segments. But when they asked me to bring my show to the network here, I was wondering how difficult it was going to be to find guests because I got like 5 shows already. So I was like, do I want another show with trying to find more guests? But it's been working out. Just about every episode I've had a new guest. So today, the power of social media, I reached out to this gentleman here and he accepted. And so he's going to be here sharing his military experiences before, during, I won't say after service because he's currently serving right now. So with no further ado, let's bring Tre to the stage. How you doing, man?
Farron, what's up, brother? How you doing?
What's happening?
I can't call it, man. Appreciate you having me on here.
I appreciate you for taking time out today.
Yes, indeed.
All right. So before we get started, man, just introduce yourself, give a little bit of background. Don't give it all away, and then we'll start the conversation.
Yeah. My name is Tre Nichols. Currently a first lieutenant in the United States Army. I'm originally from Dallas, Texas. I got a wife, 4 kids. Wife is from LA. We met in high school sweetheart type story.
What?
Yeah, indeed. You know, and we still at it. We still moving and grooving.
That's cool.
Currently stationed in Hawaii. And yeah, just living the life.
I bet. We gonna get there. All right, so let's go back in time a little bit.
Okay.
Who is Tre growing up as a young child, man? Give us some
background. That's an open-ended question. Tre, I grew up I was real sports-oriented type background.
Okay.
Grew up playing all sports, but fell in love with basketball. So basketball was my baby. Something that I grew up loving, and just enjoyed everything about, you know, the game of basketball. So that was me. You know, I had a successful career in high school. Went to Killeen High School.
Oh.
My Fort Hood folks.
Yeah.
So I went to Killeen High School. You know, where again I played basketball, and I kind of, you know, that's where I kind of made my name in the city.
Okay.
So that has been a catalyst for my overall career, and it has been a blessing and an honor to, you know, to be able to perform on the levels that I have, which we'll do here shortly.
Yeah.
That was me. I was, I mean, you couldn't tell me nothing. I rolled out and, you know, I'm outside all day with the boys, and it was just kind of one of them things where we just grew up loving playing in the streets. And
who introduced you to basketball?
So my pops was a football guy, right? So he played at he also went to Killeen High, but he made his name in football. Okay. He played basketball as well, but he was a household name on the football side of the house. So he put both balls. He put the football in my hand. He had me playing everything. I mean, from football to baseball. He just, you know, hey, threw me out there, and basketball is what really stuck. I honestly say I think I was better in football though.
Oh, really?
I just love basketball more. So, you know, I went with that.
What was your I call it my football segment, the 4th down segment. So what was your 4th down about the football that was like, you know what, I think I'm done?
I think when I got to high school, right? I don't know. I just felt like I had to make a decision because I kind of wanted to lock in and focus on one. Yeah. And so without taking away from the other, I chose one. And basketball was it. So
today, what you know, athletes are playing multiple sports now.
Yep.
So what's your thoughts on that? Having student athletes playing multiple sports.
I mean, I like the fact. I mean, it's a lot more opportunities than I'm sure that me and you had when we were coming up.
Yeah.
And so I never will, shut down an opportunity if I'm a young man in today's game. I like it. I mean, these students now are having opportunity to, be paid in college, and you got these NIL deals and stuff that. Where, it's providing opportunity. And so I can't knock them. I can't knock them at all.
Now, so, hold on now. You said Colleen. I interviewed Buddha. Did y'all go to high school together or something? Hold on.
Yeah. Hey, so Buddha's one of my OGs, man. He came well before me.
Okay.
So we went to the same high school, but just at different times.
Okay.
And, he used to always come back home and show love to the youngsters like myself at the time. And he took me right up under his wing, and we've been cool ever since, man. We played on the same semi-pro team for a little bit.
Okay.
And so he just been a great mentor for me, in the basketball world.
Yeah.
And so, and a good guy all around. Like
for sure.
Buddha is like, hey, he's a solid dude, dude, and he's still at it. He's still doing it.
In his 40s. Still at it.
That's pretty impressive. So shout out to Buddha.
For sure. So obviously growing up, in your environment, I'm listening, Pops played football, got you into sports.
Yep.
That mental toughness. Do you equate that mental toughness to Pops or the neighborhood?
Pops for sure. That's where it started. It all started at home. I think when you talk about the neighborhood and the environment you grow up in, that's kind of developed, throughout time.
Mm-hmm.
But for sure, my foundation definitely came from my parents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So playing basketball, did you have a chase and hoop dream prior to the service? Obviously, I would imagine.
Oh yeah, big time. That's all I knew. Like you'd have asked me if I would have been in the military 5 to 7 years ago, I would have looked at you crazy.
What?
Yeah, I would have looked at you crazy. So I played ball. I got I received a scholarship. I played basketball at Boise State University after leaving Killeen.
Okay.
And so I had the opportunity to extend my career. After I played at Boise State, I had the opportunity to play for about 9.5 years overseas.
Okay, hold on. Let's go back. High school to college, you got scholarship?
I did. What was
that like? Because it's a trip today. So what was that like back then?
It was a journey. I mean, like I said, it was an honor and a privilege because, for one, my parents didn't have to come out of pocket to pay money. Two, it was just a great all-around experience. I don't know, something about just being a part of a team and being around the fellas and had that camaraderie has always been something that just stuck with me throughout anything I did in life. So my experience there in college was really good. Met lifelong friends, guys to this day that I call my brothers. I could pick up the phone right now and whatever's needed is they got it, and vice versa. So it was good times there. I know we didn't have NIL and all that stuff back then, so I didn't get to dabble in those type of deals, but I definitely had the opportunity to go out and represent my family. My family name, make a name for myself on the college spectrum, and then, hey, most importantly, get that degree.
Yeah.
And so
what did you get the degree in? What was your choice of education?
So I had a bachelor's in social work.
Oh, okay.
Indeed. Right. Yep. So bachelor's in social.
Use that.
Oh, indeed. I just love I just love people, man. I just love the people element of it. Like,
yeah.
It's like I'm a super approachable guy. Like, and I just love. I'm very personable. You know what I mean? So that aspect there it was just kind of like right up my alley. Yeah. Now I will say I have not used. I do use it on a daily, but what I'm saying is I have not used it from a professional standpoint, like as a social worker. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But you got it though. When it's time, you got it. You got it when it's time. Now, I haven't heard anything about moms. Is there something you want to say about moms during this time of basketball? And
indeed, moms. I would honestly say my dad carried the athleticism, but my mom might got an edge on him. My mom was a track star back in the days.
So no kidding.
So she just that grit and that want.
Yeah.
You know, track is a different beast. You got to have a different type of mindset when it's just you, person to your left or your right.
Right, and your own mind against you.
Your own mind. So she was very strong-willed and a very motivational part in my life. So, you know, shout out to both my parents, man. I am super, super blessed to have had, you know, the great parents to, you know, help develop me, and be, you know, just molding me into the man I am today.
For sure.
So I cherish that the most, for sure.
You know, back then I want to look at that student athlete. We talked about a little bit of mental toughness, the identity as a young teenager. Yeah. Obviously, you found it in basketball, so I'm sure that transition was easy. But how was it really behind the scenes of managing the student athlete and that acceptance to your peers?
Yeah,
I mean that's tough back in the day. So
I was again. I think the biggest thing that helped me was my support system. You know, there was all type of distractions and everything that came with that, as you can imagine. But just, you know, staying grounded in my studies, ensuring that I'm, you know, doing what I do as a student athlete. And my folks always press, hey, you're a student before the athlete, so you always remember that. So, you know, I just took that with me, and it just tried to remain humble throughout the process. Like I said, I was exposed to that life at an early age, but again, my support system was my biggest grounding factor that just, you know, kept that foundation solid. And, you know, it actually went pretty good.
What position in basketball did you play?
So I was a point guard.
Point guard?
Yeah.
Clearly you college, you going overseas to play ball. A lot of athletes don't realize that you can have a great career overseas, not just the NBA. Again, I think that's part of that identity that we dream to be in the NBA, and people forget that you can have just a career overseas playing ball. So talk about that part of the NBA option, or not an option, and then going overseas to chase that.
So so pretty much like I entered the draft in 2012, and I went undrafted. Now, to me, my career was over, right?
Yeah. Was that mentally?
Yeah. Mentally, my career was over.
Yeah.
I was upset. I felt let down. Like I let my family down. All these different emotions going on, you know, as you can only imagine, right? But you know, through the grace of God, I had other opportunities. I had opportunities to go play in the D League. It was the D League then before they switched to G League.
Yeah.
And I had options to go play overseas. So just, again, went back to my foundation. My wife was my girlfriend at the time. We had two kids. 2 kids at the time? Yep, 2 kids by the time I graduated. So, you know, just speaking with her and speaking with my parents and, you know, going over some numbers, you know, for each option and stuff. Make sure, you know, the move we making made sense for me and the family. And, you know, we just kind of went with the best option. I got my first deal in Australia.
No kidding.
My first opportunity.
That's tight.
Yeah, to go play professionally. So we went with that. And like I said, Australia was a blessing in disguise for me. I absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
Made a name for myself within the overseas market, and they just allowed me to grow, develop, and kind of take off.
That's
so
tight.
It's like I said, I thought the war was over, but I promise you, there are other opportunities. It's a hurry up and wait type game. Sometimes there's a waiting around at the house, waiting on deals. Whole time life is still going on, so they got to figure it in out. So it's some pressure behind that. It is, and when that's your only means of feeding your family, it puts an added pressure onto you. So just staying grounded, staying prayed up, and being patient was the name.
I'm sure that identity was going crazy.
It definitely was.
Identity.
I don't think people realize, sports overseas may be a little bigger than in the U.S. I know we market it more and we got more of the public eye, but when I mean fans, yes, they are diehard fans. Each country I've been to, the fans have just been, they've been all in.
Yeah.
And I mean, they're all in. There are some crazy fans and crazy situations and stories that I can go over. But they love the game. They just love the sports. And so,
Now I heard from other players that have been overseas to play, in some spaces you gotta earn, because the American that's there, they only allow a couple Americans, right? Yeah. So you gotta pretty much perform, play literally every game. That's what I heard. You gotta be doing your thing. So obviously you was able to perform and at that level.
Yeah, you do, because you got to think about it. This is how these guys feed their family. So it's going to be competitive. It's going to be cutthroat.
Yeah.
But that goes into the work you put in the off season, whether you prepared, just like anything else in life. I always believe in staying ready, so I ain't have to get ready. So it was one of them things where I knew I was coming in, and it's me versus you. And we here to get paid and make a living for our family, and it's just a matter of who's coming in prepped, who's coming in shape. That work has to be put in beforehand. If you're trying to get in shape while you get there, you already wrong. You're wrong.
So about how many countries did you said 9 years? I think you said about 9 years you played. So what was?
So I played in about 8 countries. I played in Australia, played in New Zealand, spent some time in China, Mexico, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Dubai. Wow. And might be missing one, but about 8 different countries.
That's tight.
And it was a good time. I think the thing I cherished the most, honestly, it wasn't even about me. It was about the fact that I provided my family, my wife and kids, an opportunity to get out and see the world and expose them to different cultures and traditions and things that I don't think outside of basketball or the Army that I would have been able to provide. Right. So I cherished that the most. I did fulfill a dream of mine, but I always I used to sit down and think, I'm like, dang, kids. I'm just looking at my kids and they get to see these different countries, and I'm like, I never got to do this.
That's cool, man. That's cool.
So I cherish that the most. And obviously now we're in the military, still traveling. So the show goes on.
How did your wife manage the different changes of the culture, man? That's ride or die right there. So how did she handle all of that? How did you make it comfortable with all of that?
I don't know, because it was hit or miss, right? I'll be honest, it was hit or miss depending on the country we were in. And my wife and my oldest daughter are very picky with food, so that became an issue. Trying to figure out what they like to eat and stuff like that. They love the cultures and the different traditions. It was just that food element that it was like, Dad, I'm not eating that. the fish is still alive. Like, little stuff like that. Like that was probably the biggest struggle, the biggest culture shock type, for the family. But my wife, man, she held it down. She was very supportive, and hey, anywhere we went, she like, hey, let's roll. Whatever is best. You're the SME essentially on the basketball side of things. I just want to make sure that we doing the right thing as far as numbers and make sure that the kids are good. We got school and stuff locked in. She's like, I got that. You handle basketball. So she was real supportive. It wasn't too much kickback at all. The opportunities we were blessed with, man, is like I said, we got to see the world.
What did your family have to say about that travel life?
Oh yeah, they loved it. They loved it. I had the opportunity to fly my parents out to Australia, so they came to see me play a couple times. My little sister, she always traveling, so hey, I just tried to help provide her with another country to check off her bucket list, and they loved it. They loved it, honestly, and they supported it fully as well. So no issue there at all.
Cool. We almost halfway through the show. I want to touch on this before I play these public service announcements. Mm-hmm. At what level or at what point did you see the sneakers were going to come off? Like, how did you get your mind together for that day to be like, you know what, it's time for this transition? Because for some people, transition, the future. I lived in the future of uncertainty. So you talk about anxiety right now, just thinking that far out in the future, depression. I mean, all that kind of stuff can happen in these moments. And I like to point to the identity because for myself, when I was medically retired, my identity was trapped in my uniform. So I grew up playing basketball because that became my identity because I moved around to different schools. So I met friends on the court. So that was, and so I carried that through my life. And then I joined the military, and that became my identity. Yep. So I got this basketball identity, I got this soldier identity, and then when I collapsed in the service and my career was ending, I was at ANOC. Matter of fact, back then they called it ANOC.
Okay.
And I was doing the PT test, and on the last lap, we're training the sprint. I heard the instructor 15:45, 15, and I was like, oh shoot, I'm doing good. I'm 36 years old at the time. I had 17:21 to pass. And I'm like, oh, let me get this race over with. Yeah. And my mind said, take off. And I took off and I felt this little electrical charge over my body, man. But I finished at 16 minutes and then collapsed shortly after that. But through that whole process and then the medical retirement, my identity was trapped, man. I didn't know who Farron was when they said that your career is over. Yeah. And I made it mean that my life was over at the same time. So it's like, what's going to happen? The financials, I wasn't ready. Like I had plans. So that future of uncertainty for me in the military, I like to look at that because looking back, even as a child, I recognized, the transitions for me. I was an emotional kid, so those different transitions were emotional, right? Yeah. And what you made it mean, I don't belong, I don't fit in, something wrong, like thinking you're abandoned when you're not, like all the stuff that we go through. Yeah. So I can only imagine, and I share when I interview athletes on my sports show, playing football, basketball, sports from 5 years old up to hopefully high school and then college and then hopefully a professional. But then what happens, when that jersey comes off, when those cleats come off? So tell me, what was going on with you when you was like, it's time for a change?
Yeah. I don't know, man. Like, I think it was about year 8 where we had a little scare. It was after the season. The team flew us back home, and one of my daughters got real sick, and so, mind you, I was only insured throughout the season. Me and my family. Yeah. So when we went home, we was on our own. It was me buying some insurance, or providing the family with insurance, or not having it at all, right? It was as soon as we got back, we didn't have it. We didn't have insurance at this time. And so that little moment there kind of was like, man, like this could have went south real quick for me.
Yeah.
And so I started thinking that little instance there, we got through it. Thank God she was okay, no major issue. But long story short, we ended up going back overseas, and from that moment, I started to think like, damn, like, what am I gonna do after basketball? Because there's life. This ball is only gonna last for so long. Yeah. I'm 30. Well, what am I? 29. I'm like 28, 29 ish. Damn, what am I gonna do after this? Because that's something that I need to, I'm gonna have to face eventually.
Yeah.
I would love to be a LeBron and play till I'm 40 something years old.
Though we are.
But he's a different creature, right? But yeah. I don't know, man. It was certain situations where it made me think like, damn, what are you gonna do after this? Yeah. Like this is only gonna last for a legit 5 more years, maybe 10, if I'm blessed. And so I said, so I started playing the numbers game. I'm like, damn, that'll put me at about 35. I'm still young. Like, what am I gonna do after? And so I started to think, I'm looking at different professions and stuff I could jump into, and nothing really struck my interest because one, I didn't have the experience on my resume. I hadn't worked a 9 to 5 ever. Like, if I'm being honest, right?
Right.
Ever. I left school, left college, and went overseas. So I never worked 9 to 5, quite frankly. And so I sat and thought, I'm like, well, that means I'm gonna be competing with people that just got out of college. I'm like, damn, now I'm competing with kids, right? And I'm like, damn, this is gonna be they're gonna look at me like, yeah, he's an older gentleman, but he ain't got no experience. And we all know how that goes. You need this said amount of experience to qualify for this. You need this and that to be qualified. And quite frankly, I didn't have it. Right. Yeah. So I sat and I'm like, I'm talking to a couple of my boys about it and stuff. And, your boys always going to be like, nah, bro, you're good. I get you on over here at the oil field. You good. One of them things. I'm like, yeah, that's cool.
I'll plug you in.
I plug you in. And I said, yeah, that's cool. I'll apply. But, I'm not really. If they call me, they call me, right? I'm like, all right, cool. Yeah. Boom. That's what we doing. But I had another boy I went to school with. His name was Matt Funk. And so his dad is General Funk. Yes. Tre commander. Recently retired. And so I grew up around Matt. We played on the same AAU basketball team. We played on the same basketball team in high school. Played against each other in middle school. So we already had this history and this rapport with each other. And that's my man's to this day. And so he said, hey man, why don't you think about coming into the military? I'm like, bro, hell no. My language, but I said, man, hey, no, I'm not doing that. What? I'm better off waiting on my boy to plug me into the oil field. Like, and so he like, hey, look, it's just an opportunity. I said, yeah, hey, I can holler at my dad, and I'm sure he'll point you in the right direction or whatever. At this time, I grew up around military personnel, just being in Killeen, the Fort Hood area, but I'm still like,
not on the list.
Not even. But the more I prayed on it, the more I started to get a little more excited about the idea. Because, I'm understanding, the benefits and the opportunities that it could provide me and my family, and it just gave that it just literally checked every box that me and my wife was already talking about. Start talking about your kids and stuff. You're talking about college. You're talking about we got aspirations of buying real estate. We with the kids, how busy they are. Hey, your TRICARE, like checked every box that we was a conversation on and stuff. And I was like, man, well, and then on top of that, I could use my degree to come in as an officer.
Uh-huh.
I said, oh my God, like a perfect storm type deal. And as much as I was against, the idea of this might be a move. And so, I'm talking to my boys and my family about it. Of course, they like, bro, what? No, like, bro, no. You need to keep hooping. You need to do, But my mom and dad, they like, hey man, like that might be a damn good move.
Wow.
Because it can set you up long term. Everything you're looking for and everything you've been praying about and we've been discussing, the Army provides that.
Yeah.
You got to go through a little bit, you're right, along the way, but lo and behold, it provided everything that.
Wow.
Everything, all the uncertainties, like the anxiety of like not knowing what's next, and man, I took a leap of faith. I called my folks, and it was about. I think I was still overseas when I was having these conversations. So
no kidding.
Once I came home, I know shit was like maybe a week. I was at home for a week, and they already had the stuff laid out for me at the recruiter's office.
All right, hold on. We're going to stop right there. We're going to take a break. Let me play these commercials. We're going to come back. We got Tre Nichols on the show with us today. You just heard his past before he joined the service, all the way through his basketball career. If you're a student athlete out there, you're a parent, talk to your child. There's nothing wrong with playing ball overseas. It is not only the NBA that has the opportunities. You can play ball overseas. Plus, there are other jobs connected to sports as well, all the behind-the-scenes jobs. So you don't have to be the one on the court shooting the baskets all the time. There are so many other jobs connected to sports. So we're going to come right back. I'm going to play these public service announcements, and we'll finish up the conversation with Tre right here on the Farron Dozier Show, MBR Radio Network. Shout us out. What's the count? Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
I'm blessed, my brother.
I'm good, man. I'm good. Hey, did you see the game last night?
Oh, that was a good game.
But did you see the shot?
I lost money from that shot.
Oh, man, that shot was cold,
I
man.
hated it, but it was good. Damn. What's in those jeans?
You really want to know?
I do.
Exhaustion, muscle spasms, asthmatic issues, unexpected sickle cell trait crises.
Damn. Are you serious? When I was young, I found out I had sickle cell trait. My mom's told me, but I ain't have no knowledge of it. But when I got older, I had a child, and the doctor told me my daughter has sickle cell trait. You know the facts that both parents have sickle cell trait? There's a 50% chance the child may have the trait, and 25% chance the child may have the disease.
Hey, that's what's the count. Do you know that 2.5 million people in the United States have sickle cell trait, 300 million people globally? I didn't find out I had sickle cell trait until I was in the Army, 10 years. Next thing you know, I had a sickle cell trait exertion site.
Sickle cell? I thought that was a black gene or something.
Nah, man, the Latin community is number 2. 1 out of 36,000 babies are being born with sickle cell disease. You could be Caucasian, Mediterranean, European. You gotta know your bloodline, man. There is an inherited gene in our community that has been forgotten. The name is sickle cell trait. WDCONSCT, also known as What's the Count, is out to bring awareness, education, and prevention to people all over the globe. Want more information? Call us now at 323-215-5384 or visit www.wdconsct.org. All right, we are back, man. So you had choices and decisions to make.
Yeah,
like literally family, long term, life changing, and you chose the Army. Out of all branches, why the Army? Was it your friend's pops because he was already?
Yeah, I think I was already a little more plugged in, to be honest. But I did give a look to the Navy as well, because I had a couple family members previous that went that route. So I did look that way. I don't know. They didn't rub me the wrong way, but it didn't. It
It's a
didn't
lot of
sit
water.
well. It was like, a lot of water, a lot of moving pieces just on the water the whole time. And
Yeah.
I ain't no water guy, but I mean, it just Army was something that kind of stuck out to me. I knew more about it, and I had more. My grandfather, served, and so I had a little more ties to the Army side of the house that I wanted to pursue.
See, I would have been sold probably because you had the college.
Yeah.
So you don't have to go in. I mean, I'm an NCO, but you could go in with your degree, man, like right off the top as an LT.
Yeah.
Like you're making the cash. You're making the cash already.
Yeah. Nah, I mean, I definitely was looking. I was looking at the opportunities. I'm like, yeah, I'm probably gonna go this route. And it's been a blessing. It's been a true blessing ever since I've been in. I just hit my 4-year mark like
no kidding.
a week and a half ago.
Yeah.
So I look back and I'm like, damn, 4 years already. I don't know where the time went. So it's been a blessing though. It's been a true blessing.
So let's go. Not to compare, but the basketball lifestyle and this military lifestyle, identity changes.
Yeah.
How was that? Was that a comfortable shift? Was it a comfortable change or what?
So the identity changed in a sense of what's what I want to say. Trying to put it together.
Yeah.
The identity changed, but it didn't change, right? Like I didn't change who I was. I didn't have to change who I was. Like the transition from the basketball life to the military was super easy for me.
Yeah, exactly.
I was already used to being a part of a team.
Yeah.
I loved the people element of life, like just meeting new people and coming across, networking, rubbing elbows. So that aspect never changed.
Yeah.
Obviously, funds and things like that change. So that was an adjustment, but I think the Army does a good job with the team-oriented feel. At least what I've been a part of so far. You hear stories of here and there, but what I've been a part of so far, it was an easy transition. I already came in shape. I already knew how to be a part of a team. I never worried about my performance. I just always worried about, being a good team player.
Yeah.
And that in itself is already paid dividends for me.
Now I gotta ask you, because being an NCO, I was an E7 when I retired, but I remember getting new lieutenants.
Yeah.
And you guys come in with the book knowledge, and it's like, oh yeah, we gonna do it like this, and we like, it's not gonna work like that. You're like, yeah, we gonna do it like this. Did you experience that? Like, you know what? It looked good on the board, but
no, I didn't. I think where I used my advantage is for me personally, I came in already at the age of 30, so I was a lot more mature than my peers, to be honest. I just tried to be that guy that, again, as a team player, if I can help you, I'll help you.
Yeah.
You may have more military experience than me, but I think I got more life experiences at this point in my life that I can provide you. So it go tenfold. I never came in, like, hey, we doing it. It's my way or the highway. It was always that team-oriented feel. Yeah, cool. Quite frankly, y'all the SMEs, so hey, teach me so I know.
Exactly.
Right? It'll only make me a better leader. So
some don't come in like that though. Some come in with the bar, man, and they be like, I'm in charge. We're like, okay, we're gonna let you be in charge.
Now I've seen it. I've seen people young LTs come in and shoot themselves in the foot real early. And sometimes you gotta kind of pull them guys to the side and just give them that mentorship and uplift. Yeah. And so that's the guy I tried to be. That's what I wanted to bring to the table. And still doing that to this day. So
how was life? Well, let's go back. How did your family, your wife, Just like perfect, great opportunity. Like she was comfortable, she was settled, she was
the one pushing the envelope behind the scenes. Even when he was overseas. Her pops is a retired military.
Okay.
He did like 24 years or something like that, roughly.
Yeah.
And so she already had
that lifestyle. She know that lifestyle already.
Yeah. So, she was the one. I would say she was the main one behind the scenes. Like, I think you should do this. I might, I'll kind of hear her out and then kind of brush it off a little bit.
Yeah.
Come back around. I told you, I think you should do this. And then it was one of them things where she right, but you don't want to tell her.
Right.
She's probably right.
Yeah.
But now she's again, whatever I wanted to do, she made sure that, she supported me 100% of the way. She'll give me hell sometimes with certain things, but like she definitely has always been that one to support me, whether it was playing ball, or me, looking at other ventures to try to jump into.
Yeah.
And then now into the military. So
let's talk about that relationship for a second, man. You said high school.
Yeah.
How did you know and what was it like? How?
So just her being the military brat, she went to one of our rival schools in Killeen, and we met. I was real cool with one of her best friends who played on the women's basketball team. So we met through her, and I don't know, man. It clicked early for me. It clicked on my side, right? I just knew, right? And at the time, she was just like, she playing it like she playing it, but it wasn't clicking like I thought it was clicking, right? And she was real stern and like quiet and kind of hard to get to.
Yeah,
so something about it, I was like, oh, this is gonna be challenging. And she always challenged me, and to this day it's like she always challenges me, and she knows that I'm a competitor. So I'm gonna go after, like I'm gonna go get it. And that's cool. been our MO, the whole way to this day. And
that's
so
cool.
We got
that's good to hear.
Yeah, we got 4 lovely kids. We just had a newborn back in January.
Wow.
Our 4th and our last.
That's it. Game over.
Oh yeah. There's mechanisms for that, right? So, yeah, ball game. That's it.
Cool.
That's it.
How did you end up in Hawaii? Was that a choice or just?
So I commissioned in OCS.
Okay.
And in OCS, quite frankly, they like, hey, look, don't reach out to your branch manager. We're gonna get you all the information you need to, XYZ locations or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I kind of went against the grain. I reached out to mine. I got real personable with mine, and I networked.
Yeah.
I reached out, introduced myself. Told them my aspirations of, what I wanted to do, and if I had the opportunity type thing, and they respected that. They respected the hell out of it, and just having that personable element to it.
Yeah.
They was like, hey, okay, Lieutenant Nichols, all right, I got you. Hey, when your assignment or your name come across, they already was like, oh, I remember this guy.
No
I had
kidding.
a conversation with him a couple times.
Yeah.
And I just remember one day that my branch manager hit me up, and he's like, hey, there's 2 Hawaii slots. I slotted you for one. Is that still your goals and aspirations? I said, yes, sir. Yes, it is. And they sent that RFO out and seen Hawaii on there. I said, oh my goodness.
prayers answered.
Yeah, prayers answered. And so I got everything I wanted. And like I said, I think just being a good person, I mean, that's half the battle there. That's probably more than half, to be honest. And so
let me ask you something. Mm-hmm. I've been watching Hawaii 5-0, man. How can there be so much crime in Hawaii, man? You can't go nowhere, man. You can't get away. What's all that? How can you have so much crime in Hawaii, man?
I mean,
that can't be real.
It could be a gift and a curse. It's not enough. It's not enough to do here.
Where you going to escape to? Where you going to run to? You can't get this island.
Yeah, I don't know. You better go island hopping or something. I don't know. But I mean, you got a population of unfortunately of homeless people here in Hawaii. It's super expensive here.
Yeah, I heard that.
Super expensive, and so it is hard hard living if you're not managing your money.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine, people from here or whatnot, where their struggles can come from, because it is tough. Me as a first lieutenant right now, just my income alone, I'm under the poverty line.
No way.
Here in Hawaii. Yep.
No way.
So you can do the math on the rest, and I can see where
way.
From. Yep.
So that's the cost of that beautiful view, huh?
Yep.
It's a trade.
Yep. It's a trade-off. You gotta be good with your money. Just
wow.
Sure, you can
Wow. But
hey,
I would have never thought that.
Yeah, it's pretty expensive.
I would have never thought of it that way.
But definitely a good duty station. Like I won't take that away from it. Like,
oh yeah.
You go. It's where the rubber meet the road. Like you'll get out and hey, you'll find yourself quick. Like
are you quarter? What is your brand? Are you quartermaster
ordnance? I'm ordnance.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm a loggy by trade, and I've been here for pretty much 3 years now. We're about to PCS this summer. I'll head to Fort Greg Adams for Captain's Career Course.
Okay.
And so we're looking forward towards another transition. Looking forward to it. Yeah.
Well, I gotta get over there before you leave, man. Hawaii's been on my list. March Air Force Base fly out, I think every Thursday to go to Hawaii back and forth. And I'm
you can get on them hops, man.
I'm going to Hawaii one day.
Yeah. Come on. Hey, while I'm here, I told my family as well. I said, hey, look, we got about 2 months, T-minus 2 months. Hey, this is your opportunity. Hey, if you want to come on. We got you. I'm about 7 minutes from the airport. And
no.
I watch you land. I can watch you land. So, hey, come on.
My dream in Hawaii is to come over with a backpack and just rent a scooter and just like sleep on the hill somewhere. Like I don't even want to get a hotel. I just want to just sleep on the mountain somewhere, just hang out.
You can. Yeah, I don't know. The hogs might get you, but hey.
Yeah, exactly. No,
it's opportunity for sure.
What do you want to say? Just about your unit experience, the people you're working with. Like, how's that? Before we get out of here.
So my experience has been good. Very positive. I've had the great opportunity of working under some great leadership. Lieutenant colonels and colonels who have turned into mentors of mine, and have kind of helped me pave a way here in Hawaii. Mm-hmm. And so again, you hear me keep saying it, and this is something I tell my soldiers all the time. Like, the job is going to be the job wherever you are. I don't care if you're at Bragg,
right?
You want 101st. The job going to be the job. But being a good person, taking care of people, and I mean genuinely taking care of people, not just as a slogan.
Yeah.
Taking care of people is like literally 70% of your battle.
Mm-hmm.
It truly is. If you take care of a person, it's going to come back around somehow. And that's not for you to worry about. Like, just worry about being the team player. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
Just continue being you. Just making sure that you're taking care of yourself as well in the meantime, and everything else will play out. Everything will play itself out. Always does.
Do you remember he was a medical trade op for a while. Chris Merring?
Chris Merring.
He was a medical trade op. He just retired like last year. I had reached out because I'm the military, the Army, and back in 2020 just started retesting their soldiers for sickle cell trait. because of all the health complications. So now they're doing it on their annual PHAs. And so I was able to reach out to him, and he responded, and I had him on my other talk show, because he was a medical, and I'm like, hey, look, I want to help, move these conversations forward. And so we kicked it off, and then he retired, and I'm like, why did you? Like, wait a minute, but we still communicate. But I'm just grateful that now when I go to the military, because I still speak at the base that I collapsed at up in Central California. So now the soldiers are coming through there now, either having done that PHA.
Yep.
And now they're being aware of their sickle cell trait status. So I met a couple of soldiers that came through that had just been tested, had results, but they didn't have the knowledge that I was sharing at the schoolhouse. So there's still a little piece of information, missing. So I'm still out to create my relationship with the military to be one of those advocates where I can go out and support those conversations. So I've been going to the RSP programs here in this California. Yeah. I've been overseas. I've been to Stuttgart, Germany on Panzer. Did a family day and spoke over there in 2017. Yeah. So it's just important. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, get with me offline on that. It's funny you see that, because I was looking at the commercial and the ad beforehand, right? Mm-hmm. And so I have sickle cell trait. And so when I was playing basketball at Boise State, I had the same episode where I passed out. And that's how it was identified.
You're kidding me, right? You're kidding me, right?
I promise you.
You're kidding me, right? You're kidding me, right?
And so, yeah, I passed out. Running all these tests and stuff. I had the little machine, to see where my exertion levels were. I'm on a treadmill, hooked up to everything, and it was a whole episode. And I figured out that I had the sickle cell trait, and so
shut up.
Yeah, and so exertion is a thing where, your body just, I don't know, it's not receiving the proper amount of oxygen or
with us, because we have that one gene that mutates.
Yeah.
Dehydration. You could have a cold. It could be anything could be going with your body that's already stressed out, or the exercise and the exertion. And so that day, that what they told me was that red blood cell, when I took off the sprint, that red blood cell mutated. So there's loss of 40% oxygen. That triggers the rhabdomyolysis, which is the skeletal muscular, which leaks out the toxins into the bloodstream. So I had the renal failure. I had everything except for the heart attack.
Yep.
And I had no idea that the trait was connected. That was 2006 until 2010, when my officer buddy, we served together during the war, 0405. He was my platoon leader. I was a platoon sergeant, and we never had like a trait talk. But I was having problems during the deployment. I see him 5 years later on the base, and he's like, "How you been?" I'm like, "You don't want to know." He's like, "Tell me." I was like, "Man, I could barely walk. I'm going to these mental health appointments. Like, I don't know what's going on. My body is stiff." And he's like, "Oh, my muscles locked up on me one time, but I got sickle cell trait, so I have to drink extra water." And I'm like, "Wait a minute, why does that sound familiar?" And then I remembered in '99, my second physical, I was transferring to Michigan to be a supply sergeant for a light infantry company. And the Air Force base that I was connected to did my blood work, and they found my trait. But they gave me they just like, make sure you don't mate with another person because you can have a child with sickle cell disease. Like, you should have no problems. I'm like, "You sure?" Like, "Yeah, I'm 29." So I was like, "Okay, cool, I'm out."
Yeah.
And not the case. The case. So
gotta be very careful
that's
with that.
wow, man. That's so wild.
Yep. When I seen the commercial, I was like, ain't no way. I was thinking, look, before he went online, I was like, is that how he identified? Did he go check my Med Pro? You know what I mean?
No, man. That's the spirit, bro. Because it was random. It was random for sure.
Yeah. So
wow.
I tend to again, I know when I get to a point where I'm like, all right, I'm getting either a little lightheaded or I'm feeling that.
That's how I feel, huh?
A little lightheaded type feeling, or my muscles start to like lock up a bit. Like, I'm like, it'll jump at me a little bit. I'm like, all right.
You gotta be kidding me, yo.
Yeah, so I feel your pain, brother.
Oh, I'm coming. I'm coming to Hawaii to speak before you leave.
Hey, please do. That's what I was saying. Get with me offline.
Yeah, no doubt. Wow.
We can
So
definitely.
Denver, the station that we're on, they're located in Denver, which
Okay.
is not a good place for a person with sickle cell trait because the elevation is high, right? The altitude. So Ryan Clark lost his spleen and gallbladder with his trait playing against the Broncos.
Yeah.
And worst case, most recently is Ronnie Hillman lost his life to a rare kidney cancer that's directly connected to sickle cell trait.
Yep.
And so we're shocked here, like he's an NFL player, should have the best doctors. How did they miss that?
How did they not catch it? Yeah.
How did they not catch that? So that's my mission, man. That's my when God showed me that trait that I gave you, that's your gift. The military was to position you for what I have for your life. And I was like, okay, God, I get it. But in between that phase, though, like I was ready to take my life, like life was over. I was ready to jump off, off the roof.
Yeah.
Like, but getting connected to, back to church and understanding the afflictions and these gifts and these purposes and passions that God gives us. We're born with everything that we need, man. So that's been my journey, man. I became an advocate in like 2009.
Yep.
And I've just been chasing it ever since, man. Just making people aware.
Yep.
Of the risk factors that a lot of us don't know. I didn't know.
Yeah, I didn't either, man. And
that's crazy.
Like I said, it was crazy times, just kind of, learning about it and going to all these doctors appointment, test this, blood test that. Oh, you got a enlarged left ventricle and XYZ. And I'm just thinking like, well, a lot of athletes
they tried to tell me that though at one point.
Yeah.
When I went to the VA, but my left ventricle was
enlarged.
Yeah, I was like, what?
Yeah, I was like, what? It was like, yeah, do you ever get like pains or like anything that you feel like shortness of breath? I said, well, yeah, shortness of breath. I'm an athlete. Like,
oh my
God. I do a couple of suicides and I'm gonna be naturally,
nothing
out
my
of it.
Gosh. Well, you ain't gotta stay on here, but just the status of you ain't gotta say here, but the status of your children, because you.
Yes, so
yes, if you don't
I had to be careful, right? It was like a weird conversation I had to have with my wife. Like,
you
got sickle cell, or is she like, what? I don't know.
Like what?
Hey, you probably go get some blood work, XYZ.
Yeah.
Just giving them the facts of, hey, if I got the trait and you got the trait, or
is this a chance, or
you have the full blown sickle cell anemia, like. There's offset to that, that could bleed on to the kids and so I had to.
Hey, no way, yo! I'm done. Yeah. I'm done, bro.
Yeah.
I'm done.
And so, my 3 of my 4 have sickle cell trait. 3 out of the 4 do, and so they got to be careful as well.
Yeah.
Just making sure that they are drinking water, to staying healthy as possible.
Oh yeah, all we got is the hydration.
That's it.
I have 3 daughters. My youngest daughter has it out of my 3. My youngest daughter.
Okay.
And I got it from my dad. My dad was a carrier.
Yep.
So
I got it from my dad as well.
Man, we got some work to do, man. I appreciate you, man. Anything that before I let you go, man, I appreciate you for taking time out, this today, man, and sharing your story with us, man. And like I said, anything that I missed that you want to say before I let you go?
No, man, I just appreciate you, like I said, having me on the show. This is a super dope platform, and just hearing your story, and what you're pushing is something that's near and dear to my heart. And look, I didn't even know it before coming on.
No, we didn't. This is organic.
This is not even scripted. Everything happened for a reason, I guess. And so, I like I said, I appreciate what you're doing. Thank you for your service.
Appreciate you.
And you've definitely paved the way for me.
Amen. Thank you.
As a young
I say that to the older when I see a guy at the VA or anywhere with their hat on. I'm like, hey, thank you for paving the way. That's what I tell them. They be like, what? They be like, what? Like, yeah, you older than me, right? Like, yeah. So the white community, who it is, if it's a white slave.
Hey man, they paid the way. They made a way for me.
They be like, what? I'm like, yeah, you. So I say the same thing, man. Before you go, I don't want to put it out there like that, but you got plans to stay?
Yeah, I'm doing 20, man.
You stay.
Yeah.
It's time to go.
This is easy. This is easy, man. Hey, just being around people, leading soldiers, like this is easy. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I haven't had not one bone in my body to say, "Oh, I'm about to get out."
Right.
Like, this is easy. Just be at the right place, right time, right uniform. Take care of people.
Exactly, that part.
As cliche as it sounds, it's the truth. Like,
except for those of us who like our civilian clothes, that we get in trouble.
Hey, yeah, look, yeah.
I used to get in trouble for my civilian. Why you in civilian clothes? Like, yeah.
Yeah, I thought the commander said this. The first sergeant said that. Yeah.
Cool, man.
But it's been good, man. Like I said, it's been a blessing. All my experiences, I got to experience throughout life. Through basketball, man. That game has changed my life. I mean, you have no idea like what that round ball just did for my life. And I honor it. And it's a super unique situation to where I could transition into another aspect of my life. Honestly, all through basketball. And I'm still at it to this day. On the All Army basketball team. I didn't throw that out there, but I'm still in to this day.
No kidding.
And so it's just been, man, I kid you not, man. I sit back sometime, I can't even believe the opportunities it's provided me in my life. And it continues to do so. So
what I did was I purchased 2 ABA basketball teams.
Okay. There we go.
I own the Ventura County Orcas.
Yeah.
And I just recently purchased Riverside. So I got the Riverside County Mavericks.
There we go.
I had to figure out how to stay connected. I can't play ball like I used to.
Yeah.
But I becoming a new owner, and now with the stress, that's like having another child. Like, because I got to build that from ground zero. So yeah. So, but that's how I'm staying connected to the basketball life now is getting these players the opportunity to go overseas, right? You give them the opportunity to get some time, get noticed, get some footage, some video, and hopefully they can use that to take off. Yeah, put in position, man. Man, Tre, thank you, man. I appreciate you, man. This has been a blessing conversation, man.
Indeed,
I'm gonna let you go, but thank you.
Appreciate that, brother. We'll catch up real soon, man.
For sure. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right, take care. All right, this is the end of the Farron Dozier Show, episode 15. If you just tuned in, you got to go back and watch it from the start. That's all I could tell you. Again, thanks, Lieutenant Tre Nichols, for hanging out with us today. And we'll be back next episode right here on the Farron Dozier Show. Shout out, what's the count? You're listening to the Farron Dozier Show on KCAA Radio, 106.5 FM, 1050 AM in the Inland Empire. Also streaming from the KCAARadar.com website, MBR Radio, TuneIn Radio, Pandora, Google Play, Blog Talk Radio, iHeartRadio, Podcast, Stitcher, Amazon Radio, just to list a few. Oh yeah, and the streaming videos are located at Tiki Live or Rumble under the Farron Dozier Show. Catch us live or catch us on the archives at the Farron Dozier Show. Shout us out, what's the count? Visit farrond.com for more information.